Hollywood has always sold us the dream, but its golden age was built on lies, scandals, and secrets so wild, they make today's celebrity drama look tame. Behind the red carpets were affairs that broke every rule, mysterious deaths that never added up, and careers destroyed by rumors too dirty to print. Some stars lived double lives, others fell victim to shocking betrayals, and a few carried secrets so dangerous they were buried for decades. Forget the glitz. Old Hollywood was nastier than you ever imagined, and these 10 rumors prove it. 1. Fatty Arbuckle, the scandal that shattered Hollywood's innocence. In the 1920s, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle wasn't just a star. He was the face of silent film comedy, making millions laugh and pulling in a salary that rivaled Chaplin himself. But in September 1921, a single party at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco turned him from Hollywood's golden boy into a national disgrace. The story spread like wildfire. A young actress named Virginia Rappe collapsed during Arbuckle's hotel bash and died days later. What actually happened behind those closed doors was never proven, but the rumors were brutal. Gossip columns screamed that Arbuckle had assaulted her. Others claimed it was a drunken accident. Some went further, spinning lurid tales so graphic they can't even be repeated. 3 trials followed. Arbuckle was acquitted in the end, even issued an apology by the jury, but it didn't matter. The press had already crucified him. Headlines called him a monster, theaters banned his films, and Hollywood blacklisted him forever. Overnight, the man who once ruled the box office couldn't even get a booking. The scandal didn't just ruin Arbuckle, it sent shockwaves through the entire industry, convincing Hollywood bosses they needed to clean up their image. From that moment on, studios cracked down, controlling their stars' lives and silencing rumors before they reached the front page. Arbuckle's fall became the blueprint for how dangerous gossip could be. But if Arbuckle's scandal showed the dark side of fame, the next rumor proved just how deadly Hollywood jealousy could get. 2. Marion Davis and the Yacht. Death of Thomas Ince. On paper, Thomas Ince was one of Hollywood's most important pioneers, a producer credited with shaping the entire studio system. But his death in 1924 remains one of the most controversial mysteries in Tinseltown's history. Here's what the public was told. Ince had a sudden illness while attending a yacht party hosted by newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. Just days later, he was dead. Officially, the cause was heart failure. Case closed. But Hollywood insiders were whispering something very different. The rumors said Hearst, who was notoriously jealous and obsessively protective of his mistress, actress Marion Davis, believed she was getting a little too close to another man and pulled a gun in a fit of rage. The story goes that the bullet wasn't meant for Ince at all. It was meant for Charlie Chaplin, who also happened to be on that yacht and was rumored to have been more than just friends with Davis. Did Hearst shoot the wrong man? Was the heart attack story just a cover-up? The newspapers, owned by Hearst himself, were never going to publish the truth. But the whispers spread anyway, cementing the murder on the Oneida as one of Hollywood's dirtiest legends. Davis never escaped the shadow of the rumor, even though she remained loyal to Hearst for life. And Ince, his legacy as a film pioneer is barely remembered, but his mysterious death will never be forgotten. And if that wasn't chilling enough, our next story dives into a tragedy so bizarre it turned Superman into the ultimate Hollywood urban legend. Intrigued by the story so far? There's more to uncover, so give this video a like and subscribe to keep the past alive. 3. George Reeves, the Superman death that never made sense. By the 1950s, George Reeves was every kid's hero. As Superman on television, he was larger than life, the ultimate symbol of truth and justice. But in 1959, fans were blindsided by the news that their hero had been found dead in his Hollywood home, a gunshot wound to the head. The official word? He'd offed himself. Case closed, but almost nobody believed it. The rumors started immediately, and they've never really stopped. Reeves was in a messy love triangle that tabloid writers couldn't resist. He'd been romantically linked to Toni Mannix, the much older wife of powerful MGM executive Eddie Mannix. When Reeves tried to move on with a younger fiancée, gossip swirled that Mannix didn't take the rejection lightly. Some whispered Eddie used his mob connections to solve the problem. Others claimed Toni herself later confessed in private that she knew what really happened that night. Adding fuel to the fire, the details at the crime scene never lined up. His fiancée and party guests were in the house, Yet no one seemed to hear the fatal gunshot until it was too late. Police called it an open and shut case, but to this day, many believe Superman didn't die by his own hand. He was silenced. What makes this rumor endure is that it flipped Reeves' heroic image upside down. To the public, Superman was supposed to be invincible, but in Hollywood, even superheroes weren't safe from scandal. And if Reeves' story shows the cost of dangerous love triangles, the next scandal proves that even Oscar winners could destroy their careers with affairs so outrageous the industry never forgave them. Gloria Grime. The affair Hollywood couldn't forgive. Gloria Grime was one of the brightest stars of the 1950s. With her sultry looks and smoky voice, she won an Oscar and seemed destined to reign as Hollywood's ultimate femme fatale. But off-screen, she was hiding a secret so explosive it nearly wiped her name from Hollywood history. The rumor was as scandalous as it gets. Grime allegedly began an affair with her teenage stepson, Anthony Ray, while still married to his father, director Nicholas Ray. When the affair came to light, it detonated like a bomb. Nicholas reportedly caught them together in bed. A story so outrageous it spread like wildfire in industry circles. Years later, Grime made the scandal official when she actually married Anthony, who by then was of age. The marriage only confirmed what Hollywood had been whispering for years, and her reputation never recovered. Studio bosses who once pushed her as a glamorous leading lady suddenly wanted nothing to do with her. For fans, it was the ultimate betrayal of her screen persona. On camera, she was seductive, dangerous, but always glamorous. Off-screen, she was branded something else entirely. Hollywood was brutal in its judgment, forgiving some stars for their darkest secrets while condemning others for life. Graham continued to work, but the shadow of that rumor never left her. She became the cautionary tale of how one scandal, real or exaggerated, could slam the door on even the most promising career. But as wild as her story was, the next rumor takes us out of the bedroom and into the halls of power, where one man's obsession with secrets threatened every star in Hollywood. 5. J. Edgar Hoover. The FBI's grip on Hollywood. If there was one man who knew more about Hollywood's secrets than the gossip columnists, it was J. Edgar Hoover. While officially the head of the FBI, Hoover quietly became Hollywood's most feared gatekeeper, keeping files on stars so detailed and so personal they bordered on blackmail material. The rumors say Hoover tracked everything: affairs, secret relationships, political leanings, even the kind of private vices stars thought they'd buried forever. Charlie Chaplin, for instance, was tailed for years, his love life and politics dissected in Hoover's reports. Marlene Dietrich was said to be a favorite target, with whispers about her personal life meticulously recorded. Marilyn Monroe's file reportedly ran so deep that some believed the FBI knew more about her than her own family. Why was Hoover so interested in Hollywood? Officially, it was about national security and communism, but insiders swore he used these files as leverage, holding scandals over the heads of some of the world's most powerful entertainers. The mere idea that one man could destroy a career with a single leak was enough to keep stars in line. What makes the rumor even nastier is that Hoover himself was surrounded by speculation about his own private life, yet while his secrets stayed locked away, the secrets of Hollywood's biggest names filled filing cabinets in Washington, ready to be pulled out if anyone stepped out of line. In the Golden Age, no scandal was too small for Hoover to record, and no star was too big to escape his watch. But while Hoover kept secrets buried in files, others fought to keep their own truths hidden, even if it meant living a lie. And no one embodied that struggle more than Rock Hudson. 6. Rock Hudson. The secret Hollywood couldn't hide forever. In the 1950s, Rock Hudson was the picture of the perfect leading man. Tall, handsome, with that all-American smile, he became the heartthrob every studio wanted, and every magazine adored. On screen, he was cast as the rugged hero, or the romantic lover, the kind of man women swooned over and men wanted to be. But behind the scenes, Rock Hudson was living a life carefully constructed by the Hollywood system and full of rumors that nearly destroyed him. From early in his career, whispers swirled about Hudson's private relationships. In an era when the studios controlled every image, nothing was more dangerous than a secret that didn't fit the public fantasy. The rumor was that when a scandal magazine threatened to expose him, his agent arranged a quick marriage to his secretary to throw off suspicion. It didn't last, but the stunt showed just how far Hollywood would go to protect its stars and its profits. Later, even wilder speculation spread. Gossip columns joked that Hudson had secretly married actor Jim Nabors, a rumor that spread so fast both men had to distance themselves from it. To the public, it was framed as a cruel joke, but inside Hollywood, people knew the whispers came close to the truth. Hudson spent decades trapped by the studio image, forced to smile for the cameras while guarding the parts of his life he could never admit. To fans, he was the ultimate straight-laced hero. To insiders, he was a man living under constant threat of exposure. But if Hudson's life showed how secrets could be hidden, the next scandal was impossible to cover up. It wasn't whispers, it was blood, and it came from a Hollywood star whose rage ended in murder. 7. Spade Cooley. The day Hollywood's king of Western swing snapped. Spade Cooley wasn't just another performer. In the 1940s, he was crowned the king of Western swing. With his slick hair, cowboy charm, and orchestra filling dance halls, he became a household name. Hollywood adored him, booking him for movies, radio shows, and concerts that made fans scream. But Cooley's fame masked a temper so explosive it would end in one of the most brutal scandals of the Golden Age. Behind the polished smile, Cooley was known to be jealous and controlling. The whispers said his marriage to Ella Mae Evans was filled with fights, threats, and violent outbursts. Hollywood insiders had seen his darker side, but no one imagined just how far it could go. In 1961, the rumors turned into a nightmare. Cooley discovered Ella Mae had been seeing another man. In a fit of rage, he attacked her in their home, and the violence was so horrific it shocked even the hardened police who responded. He was arrested, tried, and convicted of first-degree murder. For fans, the scandal was unbelievable. The man who had once been a Hollywood darling, a music pioneer, and a cowboy hero, was now branded a monster. His conviction sent shockwaves across the industry, a reminder that even the biggest stars could harbor demons. Cooley's fall was a dramatic collapse from fame to infamy, and Hollywood never forgave him. His music faded, his legacy shattered, and his name was forever tied to one of the nastiest crimes in entertainment history. But if Spade Cooley's story was shocking, Hollywood's next rumor was even more haunting. A murder mystery so gruesome, it became a legend that still chills the city today. 8. The Black Dahlia. Hollywood's most haunting mystery. In January 1947, Los Angeles was shaken by a discovery so gruesome it instantly became legend. A young aspiring actress named Elizabeth Short was found brutally murdered in a vacant lot. Her body had been mutilated in ways too horrific for newspapers to print in detail. The press, always hungry for sensational headlines, quickly gave her a name that would echo through history: the Black Dahlia. The official investigation stalled almost immediately. Police had suspects, but no one was ever charged. And that's when the rumors began. One theory whispered through Hollywood was that Orson Welles himself, the genius behind Citizen Kane, had something to do with it. The speculation came from his strange disappearance around the time of the murder, and from the eerie similarities between his unfinished film props and the way the crime was carried out. Nothing was ever proven, but once the idea was planted, it stuck. Other rumors claimed the killer was a Hollywood insider who preyed on desperate young women chasing stardom. Some pointed to powerful studio figures with too much influence to ever face justice. Even decades later, conspiracy theorists argue the case was covered up to protect men whose names were too big to expose. The Black Dahlia became more than just a murder. It was Hollywood's nightmare personified. A beautiful starlet cut down before she had a chance to shine, her death forever tangled with whispers of corruption, abuse, and secrets too dark to tell. And if that story wasn't shocking enough, our next scandal shows how even Hollywood royalty couldn't escape the rumor mill, especially when one daring role shattered an icon's image overnight. 9. Katharine Hepburn. The role that sparked endless rumors. Katharine Hepburn is remembered today as one of the greatest actresses in Hollywood history, sharp, witty, and fiercely independent. But back in the 1930s, long before she became an icon, one film nearly derailed her career and lit a fire under rumors that followed her for decades. In 1935, Hepburn starred in Sylvia Scarlett, a daring movie where she disguised herself as a boy. Audiences weren't ready for it. The film bombed, and critics tore it apart. But it wasn't just the failure at the box office that caused a stir. It was what the role implied. Almost immediately, whispers spread about Hepburn's real life. Some speculated she was too masculine for Hollywood's tastes. Others went further, questioning her private relationships and fueling speculation about her sexuality. The gossip only grew as Hepburn continued to defy expectations, wearing trousers in public, refusing to play by the studio system's rules and living on her own terms. Rumors connected her to a string of female lovers, though Hepburn never confirmed or denied anything. The press at the time loved to hint at her unconventional lifestyle, often framing her independence as scandalous. It was classic old Hollywood, punishing a woman for stepping outside the mold while turning her private life into fuel for gossip columns. Ironically, those very rumors helped cement her image as a trailblazer. Hepburn outlasted the scandal, eventually winning 4 Oscars and becoming a Hollywood legend. But Sylvia Scarlett remains the role that sparked the whispers and showed how quickly one performance could turn an actress into the talk of the town. And if Hepburn's scandal was about subtle whispers, the final story on our list was nothing subtle at all. This star's fiery temper and explosive relationships turned her into the tabloids' favorite headline. 10. And last on the list, Lupe Velez, Hollywood's fiery spitfire. If there was ever a star who seemed made for scandal, it was Lupe Velez. Nicknamed the Mexican Spitfire, she burst into Hollywood in the 1920s with a wild personality that audiences adored on screen and feared off it. Velez wasn't just passionate, she was unpredictable. Rumors swirled constantly about her explosive temper and fiery romances. One of the most famous stories claimed that during her turbulent relationship with Gary Cooper, she once chased him through the streets of Hollywood with a knife. Another time, she supposedly fired a gun at him in a jealous rage. Whether those tales were exaggerated or not, the tabloids couldn't get enough of her. She had other infamous blow-ups too, clashing with fellow actors and turning private arguments into public spectacles. The press painted her as volatile, dangerous, and utterly magnetic, the kind of star you couldn't look away from. And Velez leaned into it, refusing to play the quiet, submissive Hollywood starlet. Her untamed spirit made her a box office draw, but also a magnet for gossip. Fans loved her, studios feared her, and the tabloids practically built a career on her name. To this day, her legend lives on less for her films and more for the outrageous stories she left behind. Lupe Velez proved that in old Hollywood, being respectable wasn't the only way to stay famous. Sometimes the scandals were the stardom, and together, these 10 rumors prove one thing. Beneath the glamour of the golden age, Hollywood was never as innocent as it looked. It was a battlefield of secrets, jealousy, and lies, a world where the real drama happened off-camera, in the shadows of the spotlight. But here's the twist. Hollywood hasn't really changed. The faces are different, the scandals are louder, and the rumors travel faster, but the game is exactly the same. Stars rise, secrets leak, and the public can't look away. So the next time you watch a classic film, remember this: behind every smile on that silver screen, there might have been a story too scandalous for the cameras. And if you think old Hollywood was bad, just wait until you hear the rumors modern Hollywood doesn't want you to know.